Hello everyone, welcome to this series on literary theories, and in this video we are going to discuss Marxist criticism and literary analysis. Introduction. Marxist criticism, rooted in the theories of Karl Marx, suggests that literature is shaped by the socio-economic and political environment in which it is produced. The underlying assumption is that literary works are not created in a vacuum but are influenced by the historical conditions of the time. The challenge for literary critics lies in determining how closely socio-economic forces impact the creation and form of literature. Is literature a mere reflection of these forces, or does it maintain some autonomy? In this video, we will explore the various perspectives on this issue, including both determinist and liberal positions, and discuss how socio-economic forces manifest in literary works. Additionally, we will use a specific example to illustrate how Marxist criticism might be applied to the analysis of a literary text. Determinist versus liberal positions in Marxist criticism. At the heart of Marxist literary criticism lies the debate over the extent to which socio-economic forces determine literary production. The determinist position asserts that literature is a direct reflection of the material conditions of society. In this view, economic forces such as class struggle directly shape not only the content of literature but also its form and style. Literature is seen as a passive product of these forces with little room for individual creative expression. On the other hand, the liberal position offers a more nuanced view, suggesting that while socio-economic forces do influence literature, they do so in a more subtle and direct manner. Literature may still be shaped by the prevailing political and economic conditions, but it retains a certain degree of autonomy. The liberal perspective emphasizes that authors can respond to their socio-economic environment in varied ways, and the influence may not always be overt. The challenge of identifying socio-economic influence in literature. One of the main difficulties in Marxist criticism is identifying how exactly socio-economic forces operate within a literary text. Are these forces evident in the plot, where the characters' struggles reflect class conflict or economic hardship? Do they manifest in the characterization, where characters may represent different social classes or economic ideologies? Or are they embedded in the literary form itself, with the structure of the work reflecting the prevailing modes of production? Understanding these different avenues of influence requires careful textual analysis. A literary critic must determine whether the socio-economic forces at play are directly reflected in the work, or if they operate in more implicit, symbolic ways. Additionally, the critic must decide whether the work supports or critiques the dominant social and political order. Example: a Marxist reading of a literary work. To better understand how socio-economic forces can manifest in literature, let us consider a specific example. Arthur Miller's play, Death of a Salesman. In a Marxist reading of this play, a critic might examine how the plot, characters, and form of the work are influenced by the socio-economic conditions of post-World War II America. Plot. In Death of a Salesman, the protagonist, Willy Loman's struggle to achieve the American dream can be interpreted as a reflection of the capitalist system. The play portrays the economic pressure that drives Willy to work tirelessly despite his declining mental and physical health. The play's tragic outcome suggests a critique of a system that values material success over human well-being, thereby illustrating the destructive effects of capitalism on individual and families. Characterization. From a Marxist perspective, the characters in Death of a Salesman can be seen as representative of different socio-economic classes. Willy Loman is a member of the working class struggling to make ends meet in a system that rewards only the wealthy and successful. His son Biff, who rejects the capitalist ideals of his father, represents a form of rebellion against the system, while Willy's employer Howard embodies the indifferent, profit-driven capitalist class. Literary form. The form of the play itself can also be analyzed through a Marxist lens. The fragmented, non-linear structure of Death of a Salesman reflects the disillusionment and instability of the working class in the face of unfulfilled dreams. The blending of past and present events in Willy's mind could symbolize the disorientation caused by a system that promises success but ultimately leaves individuals behind. In this analysis, a determinist perspective might argue that the plot, characters and form of Death of a Salesman are all direct products of the capitalist system. On the other hand, a liberal perspective might emphasize that while the play critiques capitalism, it does so in a more complex, indirect manner, allowing for multiple interpretations and highlighting the autonomy of the work. Conclusion. The main challenge of Marxist criticism lies in determining the nature and extent of socio-economic influence on literature. A determinist position views literature as a passive product of economic forces, while a liberal position acknowledges the influence of these forces but allows for a greater degree of creative freedom and complexity. Whether a critic adopts a determinist or liberal approach, the key is to show how these forces operate within a literary text, whether through plot, characterization, or form. In the case of Death of a Salesman, both positions can be explored to reveal how the play reflects and critiques the capitalist system in post-war America. Ultimately, Marxist criticism invites readers to stop and think about the ways in which literature not only reflects but also challenges the socio-economic conditions of its time. So this was the discussion on Marxist criticism and literary analysis. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.